Now, again, this is an automatic. This is not a quartz for 16 bucks. Depending on how well this actually functions and holds up, that could be pretty hard to beat. What's going on, guys? Anthony from Chronometer Check here. And today we're going to be reviewing something a little bit interesting. This is the Fanmis, whatever it's called. It's like a $16 automatic watch from Amazon. Pretty much the cheapest automatic watch I could find. And we're going to do an unboxing today. Now, I'm definitely not expecting Seiko or even really anything noteworthy in terms of quality, but we're definitely going to check it out and see how well it does. So it came in this quote-unquote frustration-free packaging, which is about the only noteworthy thing about this packaging. It's pretty dull and boring, but what do you expect for $16? So let's get right into this. I know this is like the most boring part of the unboxing, actually unboxing the box. So let's get that garbage out of here. Let's get to the watch itself. So, okay, I'm not gonna lie. Right off the bat, I'm a little bit, we should probably take it out of the wrapping first, but right away, I was actually a little bit surprised. Again, this is like $16 at the time, and wow, I'm blown away. Now, it's not, super mesmerizing or anything, but for what it was, $16, I was definitely expecting like a super cheap looking watch. And I'm not sure exactly the quality, especially of the movement, but so far, off first glance, it looks pretty decent. So, as you can see, this is an IWC-inspired pilot-style watch. It does have Arabic numerals in white for the hours, as well as applied or painted on embassies on the 12, 6, and 9 positions. It also has a state wheel along the right side. We're going to check that out and explore that a little bit later. Let's see how well it really does in terms of the date. Right off the bat, it is a rather appealing watch. The case, it says stainless steel on the website. I was expecting some chrome plating. As expected, the finish isn't, it's not that great, but it's decent. And from what I could tell, it seems like stainless steel. It does say stainless steel on the back. But yeah, so it does seem like stainless steel case. It has these white hands, which I think look rather striking compared to the dial. And it just has an overall nice style. The crystal itself is domed. I'm not expecting anything other than mineral crystal for this price, but what do you expect? Now, again, this is an automatic. This is not a quartz for 16 bucks. Depending on how well this actually functions and holds up, that could be pretty hard to beat. So right off the bat, the Winner logo is really the only thing that strikes out to me. By the way, this is a Winner branded watch in my hand, but on the website it did have a different name. I believe it was Fanmis, and I also believe they sometimes go by other names. So I'm pretty sure it's just one of those Chinese brands that just slaps whatever logo on by whatever brand is willing to buy them out. And they just make the same watches. They do a huge production batch and just throw a different logo on. So it might have a little bit of a different name by the time you get to it, or if you want to look for it online. But yeah, so it's definitely a really, really appealing watch. Not what I was expecting at all. The crown on the 3 o'clock position. It feels like there's some actuation there. I'm not actually sure if it's hand winding. I'm not expecting there to be for the price. Again, we can see the seconds hand is starting to tick. So I guess, on second thought, maybe it is. The band itself feels very, very cheap, exactly what you'd expect from a $16 watch. I'm pretty much going to throw this out literally the second I can. I'll try it on for you, but I'm definitely not expecting much. The case back is rather, it's not the prettiest movement ever, but it definitely has some depth to it. There are definitely some machine parts. Yeah, it's definitely not the prettiest case back. Again, it's just kind of interesting that it even exists at this price point, and it's kind of a marvel in itself. It is an automatic, by the way, as you can see by that rotor, that automatic rotor wheel. So yeah, the case back I feel like is definitely stainless steel. For some reason, it looks like the finish is a little bit different than the rest of the case. So I wonder if only the case back is stainless steel, just so they can write that on the case, and then maybe the rest of the case is chrome plated, but I'm not actually sure. It definitely didn't say in the specs, but I guess we'll find out. I will be doing a full review on this watch. It is a cheap watch, so I'm kind of curious to see how it holds up over time. And yeah, so give this another little turn. Yeah, I definitely hear some, oh wow, that is a noisy crown. Wow. Let's try to, oh boy. Okay, so pulling out the crown was definitely not fun. I had to like chip my basically non-existent nails, but that was so far the most difficult part about this watch and the worst thing about it. I wonder if that's gonna like kind of loosen up over time. But anyway, that was really difficult. So now we could change the date. Let's see if we get you a better look. So as we change the date, it does have quickset. Nothing spectacular, but I mean, hey, $16. That's kind of the general trend for this watch. This is usually what I'll say on stuff with even like a Seiko 5 watch. It's, you know, whatever, $70. It's hard to beat and hard to complain about certain things. But for $16, really, what are you going to complain about for an automatic watch? Unless it stops working, which we will find out in the full review. It has a very, very, very slow actuation. So I have to turn it a lot just to get the minutes an hour hand to turn a little bit. So setting the time on this is going to be quite the process. Wow, it takes forever to turn the hour and minutes hand, but I'm really, really curious about the date actuation. Is it going to just snap over quickly, or does it slide over the next few hours? So let's see if we get a good look at that. Did it? Guess what? Your boy was on AM, and I didn't even realize as I was changing the time, but yeah. So let's move that over. Let's see that date wheel change. A rather snappy date wheel change. That's kind of surprising because even in the 7S26 movement with the date, it takes like 3 hours for it to shift over to the next day and the next date. So that's kind of interesting. Now let's check the dimensions. So the diameter is just a hair under 40 millimeters, about average, pretty decent sized watch, not too big, not too small. The lug to lug is about 42. So again, this wears reasonably well. I can already tell just based on the dimensions. It's not like an overly large size pilot watch that you might see in some other pilot inspired watches. Now it is a rather tall watch, so I'm expecting to be a little bit taller than average. Wow, only 12.5 millimeters. This is actually rather surprising. I guess, you know, they just wanted to make it relatively compact, and that is what it is. So this should be a reasonably sized watch for almost anyone. Now I'm going to try it on and let's see how it looks. Okay, so I don't know how to explain this exactly, but the rubber strap itself kind of feels like somewhere in between like a stretchy cardboard, and it feels like it could just rip at any second, but it's actually not the most uncomfortable, I'm not gonna lie. I definitely had worse. Even some, you know, from slightly more expensive straps have been more uncomfortable, but yeah, the durability I feel is just not there. I can tell this is not gonna last very long. As far as the watch itself, maybe a little bit too big for my 7-inch wrist, or maybe just right on the cusp, but I think it wears decently well. Now I can't wait to swap out this faux crocodile black leather strap for maybe a rich brown canvas or a light tan or a NATO or something like that. And I will be doing that in the full review. I'll be throwing on some different straps. Check it out. And yeah, look at that. For $16, that is pretty hard to beat. You know, maybe you just want to get someone a mechanical watch, try to get them into the hobby. Maybe you want to just give someone a little fun present that they never would have thought to buy in the first place. And this could be that watch. Now, I'm curious, again, how long this watch is really going to hold up. Is it going to fall apart on me? Is the movement going to stop working after a week? And, you know, so far, based on first impressions, I'm not mad at it. It could be a good option, you know. It's definitely not an unattractive piece. Now, my one and only gripe so far with the appearance of this watch is the winner logo. That's literally the ugliest thing about this watch. For some reason, it's just makes the watch look cheaper for some reason. It's not the most attractive logo, and on top of that, the way it's finished, that definitely looks more like a chrome plating to me. Now, again, I'm not 100% sure. It could be stainless steel for all I know, but just the finishing is not done very well. So there you have it, guys. This is the $16 Fanmis or Winner or whatever brand it is mechanical pilot watch. This is, as far as I could tell, the cheapest mechanical watch on the Amazon and possibly the internet. So let me know in the comments below. Is it? Because I'd definitely love to try if there's a cheaper one. But yeah, so there will be a full review on this cheap, super affordable piece. It's funny, you know, how much could you really go over such a cheap piece? But I find it fascinating that they have even managed to make something, manufacture something this cheap, let alone sell it for that price. So yeah. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. I would really appreciate it. It would help me out, help my channel grow. Don't forget to subscribe for more, to find out more about this watch and if it holds up in the long run. There will be more information on the blog, chronometercheck.com, and thanks for watching.